Okay, let's talk about graphing systems. That's the first way we said we were going to look at solving them. This one is pretty straightforward. So step number one, put both of your equations in slope-intercept form. Step number two, graph each equation. Step number three, find the intersection because that is the solution to the system. So let's look at an example. So I have my first example here. Well, I can see already I have one line that I'm ready to graph, but I have another that I'm not. I have to change that. So let's change it. Starts with 2x plus y equals 6. I want it to say y equals mx plus b. My y is on the right side of the equal sign, but this is over here and I don't want it to be there. So I turn that into 0. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So now I have left on this side just my y. And over here, I have, I'm going to put it in the right order, right? Negative 2x plus 6. Now, I'm ready to graph. So I have two equations I can graph. So I have this one, and I have this one. So let's see. Okay, my first one, negative 3. So I'm going to start at negative 3. Graph them in blue since it's written in blue. So my y-intercept is 1, 2, negative 3. And my slope is 7. So I'm going to rise 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and run 1. And that's my first line. So highly recommend you use a straight edge and you graph them on graph paper because otherwise you are very likely to make a mistake. And it's important to be accurate when you're looking for an intersection, right? You don't want to mess it up. Okay, my next one, positive 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's graph this one in purple. And just so you can see it's the one I did in purple, mark it. And it has a slope of negative 2. So from that, it's going to fall 2 and run 1. Oh, look, I already found it. So my solution to this system of equations is the point where they meet. So in this case, it's this point, and that point is 1, right? And 1, 2, 3, 4. So the point is 1, 4. Now what you'll notice is that this x and y value makes both of these equations true because that's what the solution is, right? It's the x and the y value that make both of them true. That's points on that line. So if I plug in, for example, a 1 for my x value here, 7 times 1 is 7 minus 3, it equals 4. My y value should be 4, so that's true. Let's try it on this one. If I plug in my 1 for my x value, negative 2 times 1 is negative 2, plus 6 equals 4, which is my y value. So that's how we solve by graphing. Let's look at another example. All right, this one, neither one of them is in the format I need, so I've got to rearrange them. So let's do this one first. X plus 3y equals 15. I want it to say y equals, so I need this x to go away. So let's subtract x from each side. That leaves me with 3y equals, if I put it in the right order, negative x plus 15. All right, I don't want 3y, I just want y. So I need to divide everything by 3. And that's going to leave me with y equals. This is the same as negative 1/3 x. All I did was pull the 1 out from in front of the x to give myself the slope of negative 1/3 plus 5. All right, so that's equation number 1. And that was this one. Now let's look at equation number 2. That's this one. And we started with 2x minus 2y equals negative 2. I want it to say y equals, so I need this 2x to go away. So minus 2x minus 2x. All right, I'm left with negative 2y equals, well, put them in the right order, negative 2x minus 2. I don't want negative 2y, I just want y, so I need to divide everything by negative 2. And you'll see I'm left with, right, y equals negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1x. So I just write my 1x, right? Negative divided by negative makes it positive. And then minus 2 divided by negative 2. Well, negative 2 divided by a negative 2 is a 1. So now I have that one. So now we can go ahead and graph it. Draw some lines. All right, my first equation, y equals negative 1/3 x plus 5. So my y-intercept is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's a negative 1/3 slope, so it's going to fall 1 and run 1, 2, 3. Fall 1, 1, 2, 3. Right? That's how we graph that one. There's my first line. Okay, my next line, this one here, y equals x plus 1, so my y-intercept is positive 1, and it has a slope of 1, so it's going to rise 1, run 1, rise 1, run 1, rise 1, run 1. You can see where they're going to intersect. And so the solution to this system of equations is going to be this point here, which is the point 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. The point 3, 4. That is the x and y value that will make this solution true. Now, I like to graph on paper. I would love for y'all to have plenty of practice graphing on paper. That's why I keep graph paper in the room at all times. However, you can also graph these in the calculator. To do that, I will add another video so you can see how to do that in the TI Inspire. If you are working on this at home, it is very easy to graph them in Desmos. So feel free to do that. Again, you just look for the place where they meet, and that is the solution to your system. That's it for now.